Hello everybody and welcome to this pick a card reading video. This video is all about this Capricorn 2026 full moon. And I wonder if I wanted to point this out. If you haven't listened to my most recent pick a card reading video, the one that was uploaded last Monday, then some of you maybe should do that because I feel like there might be some overlapping consistencies here. And this video is for the Capricorn full moon for 2026, but you can listen to this whenever. This can be timeless. If you feel drawn to any of the cards, you can certainly listen, even if it's outside of being around or near the Capricorn 2026 full moon. How many times am I going to say that? We have 3 piles as usual. If you feel drawn to more than one stack, you can listen to more than one stack. And if you don't feel drawn to any of them, that's completely fine. This just might not be the pick a card reading video for you, but I have plenty of other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my YouTube channel. The cards here are Karma cards by Monte Farber. And then we have, for the tarot, I've been really drawn to using this lately, but yeah, the Dark Crystal, Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal Tarot, and then also we will try to get to the Cosmic Dancer Oracle deck. Everything I talk about and discuss in this video is for entertainment purposes only and cannot be stated as fact. Alright, let's get into it. Hello and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The coin here that's associated with this card is the Canadian 10 cents coin. It has like a ship on it, which I don't think you can see from the way it's at now, but then on the back it has Elizabeth II. D.G. Regina is what it says on the back as well, but and then the card we have is Pluto. It says the need for control of, an obsession with, a power struggle, and then resurrect, get to the heart of, and do or die! Exclamation point, you must. So this is obviously going to be a very powerful time for you. With the Canadian 10 cents being here with the ship being there, I think, and I'm also hearing like Sasha Keeble's song Move It Along, please. Off of my lawn, please. So, I think for you all, though, you'll just be moving on to your next chapter. It feels like during this full moon, Capricorn full moon, you'll be closing, or how do I say, tying up loose ends. There will be like a final stamp, a final check mark, like, okay, now we're done with this, we're moving on. And this feels like something that the power struggle is coming up. It feels like something you won't be actually fully ready to move on from, but it will feel like something that is necessary to move on from. So you don't have to be fully ready, but Spirit still says you need to take the next step now, the final step forward, so that you can leave this back. Whatever this thing or person situation is, it feels like something that you have hope for, that you hope, and you have hoped for a while that it would get better, but it has not been getting better. And Spirit is saying it looks like it will not get better moving forward. So that's why you just need to move it along, please. You just need to like move on from this, because it's not something that will eventually make you happy or something that will eventually fix itself. No matter how much damage control you try to do or how much you try to fix the person, place, thing, situation, it is not meant for you to be fixed. I do see for some of you, this could be something that with time being away from this person or thing, if you go back to it, I see like very much like years into the future. It could be something that you can give it another try. Like, it makes me think of people who try to open up their business, or like if it's a relationship, going back to school. Like, this could even truly insinuate, even more specifically, not just taking a break from school and then going back later, but traveling the world and then going back to school later on with better insight as well. But it seems like, yeah, you're just not meant to keep doing this specific thing, so you're supposed to do something else. And I don't want to say something else in replace of this. It's just, I'm hearing doing different things with your life. So this thing that has been a priority for you should not be a priority anymore. And it also shouldn't really be in your life. So it's something you need to just leave in the past. Let's pull some tarot cards here. Any additional things they'd like to say, or if they want to be more specific. They as in your guide, your ancestors, spirit as a whole. What else would you like to say for 1A here for this Capricorn full moon? Also, full moon makes me think full circle, so think coming full circle. But not in the way of... Not in the way of furthering your involvement with this thing. It's just about... Like, Pluto can also be about completion. Capricorn can be as well, but... Yeah, I get the sense this is just something where it's like, even if it's not completely finished, you need to be... Like, even if it's not something that's completely complete, even if it's not something that is finished the way you like it to be, it can be finished for now and you can move on. Even if it's something, it reminds me of people who start painting. It's like, maybe you have to abandon that project, you have other stuff going on in this kind of situation. So in this situation, Spirit would be saying, or maybe it's too painful because it's something that's a personal project for you, right? In that kind of situation, how that applies to you all is maybe not finishing that painting, moving on, doing something else, and maybe you go back and you finish the painting later on, or maybe you don't, you just leave it as it is, and that's okay. And maybe you keep it, maybe you end up throwing it out, and that's okay. So, do you get what I'm saying? So things are complete as much as they need to be right now. You don't need to, like, I know I said tying up loose ends, but that doesn't mean actually, like, finishing everything completely. It's just being complete and finished by, like, leaving it as it is now and not working on it further. We have the Magician reverse. Yeah, this isn't something that you can force to happen. And it's not something that, even if it's meant for you in the future, it's not meant for you right now. So Spirit doesn't want for you to think about it any further. And Capricorn is all about, and full moons are about celebrating our successes. And Capricorn is also about celebrating success. It's about celebrating family and about celebrating, like, monetary gains, all of that. But Spirit is saying that with this, none of that applies. Anything that relates to Capricorn matters, it will not apply. Like, it will not work in your favor. It will not provide you with much money or with much... Capricorn isn't a sign of being happy, but they strive to do better, be better. And I just see in this situation, like, you can't really get much further. You can't get any better than where you're already at. It's like you've hit that roadblock. Now you gotta change course. What other information, Spirit, do you have for 1A? Ace of Pentacles. Yep, that just further... Ace of Gems in reverse is Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So that just further says this isn't something... So maybe in the future you're meant to go back to it. For a lot of you, I think this is something that... Even if you were to go back to it in the future, it wouldn't make you... You would realize this doesn't make me happier. This doesn't fulfill me. Or this is... You'll just get the strong sense this isn't meant for me. Pluto is all about karma as well. And it feels like... How do I want to word this? This is something that could relate to past lives, but it's something that... Yeah, I'm hearing not repeating the same patterns. So this could be breaking not only, like, any curses placed upon you, any past life traumas that you still are working through in this lifetime. I'm hearing specifically generational curses as well. It reminds me of people who don't want to have children, or if they have children, they raise them in a much different way. But for you all, because this is saying to move on and not think about it, in that like kind of instance, it would mean not having kids. And then in the future, maybe you can decide to do, but maybe then you decide you want to adopt instead, right? all these different things. I'm hearing there's things to consider. There's other things to consider. And so that's why in the future, when you look back, going back to this thing, the circumstances will be much different. You'll have a lot of a different viewpoint, many different feelings, as opposed to how you're feeling about it now. And I think if you actually think about it, you don't even have to think that deep down. It's like this thing doesn't make you happy. You just kind of feel like you gotta do it anyway. You gotta be involved with this anyway. It's like, well, I started it, so I'll just finish it. Or this is something that is expected of me. My parents want me to be like this, or I expected me to achieve this excellence, so I need to keep going with this. And Spirit's like, that's not true. You can still be a successful and happy person in love, in career, in home life, friendships. You can have a successful life without having to keep going for the same. I think some of you too maybe struggle with thinking that maybe you in the past have, whether it's you or it could even be like a parental figure, change jobs a lot, or always in and out of different relationships, or back and forth, being with somebody, not being with them again. And so I think you want stability, but Spirit is saying there's a difference between stability and stubbornness. Stability doesn't arise from you doing something. It's like the quote, insanity is doing the same thing twice and expecting different results. So Spirit's like, if you're doing this, if it's not making you happy, if it's not fulfilling you, if it's not doing something for you, it's okay to walk away from it. Don't think that you are your parent, or that you are this like you. And I want to say, yeah, everybody's always figuring it out. So if you don't have it all figured out, that's not anything bad on you. It's a very confusing life. There's a lot of stimulus around us. Yep, and then we have the 3 of Swords. I'm not surprised I pulled this. So for many of you, this could relate to a past relationship, but I want to be more broad and just say that Spirit is saying no matter what this is, it's something that it pains you to have to walk away from it, and it's something that you've put so much time and energy into and effort into, but that doesn't mean you need to continue with this power struggle. Like, your worth doesn't derive just from this one thing. You, as a person, are more than just one thing. You are multifaceted. And so I'm hearing you need to give yourself more credit. Don't just tie all of your energy into this one person, place, thing, situation. You are more than that. And so this is a time of really not claiming that, because I don't want to say claim it and you don't feel it, but this is a time of starting to unearth that, disassociate from this thing, and then learn more of who you are, and also learn of like specifically who you are outside of this thing. Let's go into the Cosmic Oracle deck. Spirit, final message for 1A, please. What is the final message here? Devote. And that's interesting because I was just saying to walk away. So the devote could mean devoting more time to you as opposed to this other thing. Devoting your time and energy to things that truly make you happy. Flip right to it, pages 71 to 72. Okay, let's make sure we're in frame. It says devote. Number 21. True devotion means following the flow of love for love's sake. Divine love is the purest, strongest, and most potent substance in the universe. When you direct devotional love toward the divine, infinite love comes right back at you, flooding your energy field and illuminating your heart. When you look at the river that is your life experience, where does love surge, swirl, simmer, and overflow? Perhaps love gathers and radiates around your work, your art, your children, your family, or the natural world. The essence of the divine is love. So where there is love in your heart, there lies a pathway to God. God is all that is. Universe. Yeah, so before I read it further, I really just get the sense this means, like, if you don't feel devoted to what you are spending your time and energy on, to instead direct that energy to things you do want to devote your time, energy, and love in. Does that make sense? Okay, remember, devotion is the simplest but profound act of letting go into the energy of love. Surrender and give yourself fully to love. Let it lift you and carry you along like a fallen leaf in a clear rushing stream. With immaculate care and attention, express love for the divine. Just as you dote on your friends and family with tokens and demonstrations of your affection, freely express your passion for God or Goddess in any way that feels right to you. Meditation and mindfulness are simple acts of devotion that take a little time. Creating an altar, lighting a candle, or engaging in any form of sacred art are also acts of devotion. Everyday activities such as cooking, dancing, or walking in nature can be acts of devotion when you do them with the spirit of offering up your effort to the divine. Even your workday can be a demonstration of devotion. Simply set the intention at the beginning of each day to offer up your work to all that is and ask for more love and healing in the world. So maybe part of your message is devotion doesn't look like sacrificing yourself, sacrificing your needs. It's having a better work-life relationship balance, and also I'm hearing believing more in yourself too. When you consciously infuse your day with devotion, everything changes. It may seem like a small and subtle thing when you consider that it merely involves an inner shift and silent intention, but you'll discover that it is powerful beyond words. Your mood will shift, your mind will become luminous, and your days will consistently be filled with meaning and miracles. Additionally, the surface fluctuations of duality, pleasure, pain, joy, grief, etc., will not upset your inner equilibrium, as you will be securely anchored in the ultimate unifier of unconditional love. Connect with and cultivate the love energy at your heart center by standing comfortably with your feet flat on the floor. Take some deep breaths and become aware of the feeling of love. Feel it emanating out both in front of your chest and behind your back. At your heart center, imagine a gold and white, green, or pink ball of glowing love energy about the size of a grapefruit. Cup your left palm below this ball of energy and your right palm above it. Continue to breathe consciously as you alternate the positions of your palms above and below this glowing sphere in a circling motion. As you do so, feel and imagine this sphere of light growing brighter and becoming even more potent and pure. Love does not criticize, judge, or condemn. Love accepts and embraces all exactly as it is. Choosing love is choosing freedom. Plunge into the endlessly replenishing waters of love every day. When you open your heart fully and with wild vulnerability, radiant bliss will come rushing in. This makes me think, and the things and the people you love also, like, I'm not saying loving things or people is always going to be easy, but it shouldn't be so hard. So think about the things that are worth fighting for, that maybe it can be hard sometimes, but also provide you with peace and ease and a feeling of gratitude. Like with what you're doing now, do you feel gratitude? If not, what can you do to enter that space of gratitude? But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much, 1A, for watching and listening to this video. Hope you enjoyed it. You can like this video, you can subscribe, you can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can check out my other timeless pick-a-card reading videos on this channel, as well as the collective readings on this channel. And you can check out my ASMR channels, which are linked down below, as well as all of my other socials. Okay, thank you so much again, 1A. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Tippy, and welcome to your part of the pick-a-card reading video. We have here, first, let's do this. I think it says 1 penny. I think it is a Canadian penny, if I had to guess. And on the back it has Queen Elizabeth II, and it's 1996. Okay. And we have in Gemini, what you want to be known, what is believed about, use the quickest way end. In Gemini, it says on the other side, information to explain, communications about, and resulting from the fluctuations of. So it feels like for you all, if you've chosen this, a key word I keep hearing is curiosity, curious and curiosity. And this seems like a time where you will really learn. It could be specifically about studying something, like researching something you're passionate about, you're interested in. But I'm hearing that putting in more time and effort and energy into something will be helpful for you, will be fruitful, is specifically what I'm seeing. But I see gaining a better understanding about something and also feeling more confident in your abilities because you have more information. Also, at the time of practicing, it reminds me of people who learn a new instrument or continue to learn or are learning more of a language such as Spanish. And I'm hearing this is a time of consistency in honing in on your craft. So if you are learning a new language, and it's like if you have a Duolingo account, being on Duolingo at least once a day, every day for the next month or two. And I see that consistency, obviously, in that situation, that would help you grow and expand and be able to learn it better, so that you know what other people are saying if you're around Spanish speakers, but also so you maybe know what to say. This could be a shift right now as well. In whatever you're doing, you'll notice, like, maybe you've been steady in your progress, but because you put more time and energy into it during this time, there will be like a big leap almost in your expertise or in your knowledge. And that will allow you to do better in this thing. And because you have better practice or better knowledge under your belt, in your mind, under your belt, where did that phrase come from? See, now I'm curious, but I really do see your curiosity being piqued. I wonder if there will be something that will almost seem like a minuscule or small interaction with somebody, or just with the world at large that you'll have. But I see people talking, so I feel like you'll be in a conversation with somebody. Or even better yet, you might be walking by somebody, or you'll like be in line, and a stranger will be talking to somebody else about something, and that will be relevant in a way to what you are trying to do or what you've been wanting to start doing. Even if it's not relevant, it will connect the pieces in your mind for you. Like, it will seem relevant. So on what I was saying for my example is, maybe you're at the grocery store, like if you're learning Spanish, maybe you're at the grocery store and let's say you work at the grocery store and somebody's looking for something, but they don't know how to say it in English. And then maybe that helps you understand, okay, I should learn more, at least food-based knowledge for anybody who comes in here, who is Spanish speaking, who doesn't know English as well. And so then you can be helpful in that too. So it seems like what you do now, like, it will benefit you clearly, but it also for some reason will benefit others. This thing that you're learning, studying, because maybe it could be something you're researching as it relates to your partner's culture or their like genealogy, if it traces back to a certain region of the world. And then you learn more about that. And so then when you go and visit his family for the first time, you'll have a better understanding of maybe different pieces of decor that they have, or like family heirlooms, or just the town that they live in. You know what I'm saying? So it feels like this is a very cool, and I feel very happy about this too. Like, it's a very cool and curious time for you, and it's a time of expanding your mind, expanding your knowledge, also expanding the way you view things, because with more knowledge usually we view things differently. So I see that happening for you as well. Okay, let's pull from the tarot cards. Okay, is that the Nine of Swords in reverse. This is a card about worry. So yeah, I feel like this is something that with more practice, you give this thing, with more knowledge you obtain, you'll just be a lot less anxious. So if it's like that example of me and the family, it's like you won't be as anxious of speaking their native tongue, because you'll know more basic language, and you won't feel so insecure, and you'll feel like respectable, and again, just more confident in yourself and your abilities. So practice doesn't have to make perfect, but it definitely helps. Practice helps, learning, educating yourself. The worst thing that can happen from you trying to learn more and educate yourself more is that you have less time to do other things. But it's like, do we all really need to be on YouTube or TikTok or social media all the time? You know, it's like, you're not actually going to lose out on much. And I think during this time too, you'll probably be less on social media. You'll be more out in the world and of the world. Or if you aren't online, like, it won't be on social media, it will be for your research or for furthering your progress or your goals. And I think after like a week or so of doing all that, you'll feel a lot like more at peace with not always needing to be triggered by social media, as an example. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles upright. So yeah, this is about being happy and confident in yourself. Like, yeah, I did the thing, and I'm going to continue doing the thing. And it also reminds me of, like, if you haven't started on this thing yet, but you know what I'm talking about here? Or, like, there's an insinuation. I feel like it can be scary to start something. Once you do, you'll be like, yeah, I am a bad bee. You know what? I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to continue feeling like a bad bee. And this actually makes me feel smart. This makes me feel wise. This makes me feel of the world, cultured. This makes me feel like I'm not a dud. This makes me feel like I'm being resourceful and helpful. This makes me feel like, you know, all those positive things. I'm also hearing the keyword focus. So I think once you get started on this, or like start doing more of the practice of the learning, you will be a lot more, I forgot what I was going to say, but I have here, Queen of Cups, upright. Yeah, actually, I don't think this is the one I was supposed to pull out. Even though I feel like it could relate to you. I'm going to put it back in. I don't remember. I didn't see what the other one was, but I put it back in. I vaguely remember what the pictures look like, but... The Magician. Okay, this came out for pile 1A. The first card that came up, but it was in reverse. But yeah, this is beautiful. The Magician is all about making your dreams a reality. So Spirit's like, if there's something you've been wanting to do, now's the time to do it, or to put more time and energy and effort into it. And it will pay off. Again, like, it will only help you. It will help you feel more aligned with your life purpose as well. And also I'm hearing sense of identity. Gemini can be like that too. And I don't know if it was in this pile or pile 1A, but I was talking about how humans are very multifaceted. So this is also Spirit's way of saying you can do more than one thing. You have talent, and or you just have abilities to do more. You can also, I see you during this time multitasking quite a bit. But I see you being able to handle it well and not being overwhelmed like maybe you would have been in the past. Because I just see you being, when you're invigorated and happy by doing something, it's hard to feel drained or burnt out from it. Even if you do end up getting a little bit less sleep during this time, or spending less time on social media or with friends and family, it feels like during this time it feels like it will go by pretty quickly as well. Like, there will be moments where it goes by slow, like especially when you get frustrated. But then also it'll go by fast, because I just see you getting very entrenched in what you're doing, being very happy. So it's like, it won't feel like lost time at all. It will feel like time gained and learned, and you'll just feel a lot more grateful for having taken this step into doing this thing, like the learning this thing, piece of information, culture, and like doing the thing, practicing. Okay. Is there anything else? I feel like that's mainly it. Just, I see it being a good thing. So if you're wondering if now's the time to do it, or to put more time and energy into doing something, do it, even if it means spending less time with people, because it won't feel like time lost. You'll be happy doing this, and it will make you feel fulfilled. It'll make you feel, again, intelligent, smart, cultured. Okay, I feel like, is this the top card that wants to be pulled for 2B? I feel like it is. Feel, 34. Feel. Pages 108 to 110. A sunny day can be a beautiful thing, but if every day were sunny, you would begin to miss the soul-shaking rumble of thunder and the heart-cleansing catharsis of pounding rain. Likewise, valuing happiness above all other emotions will unfailingly begin to feel shallow and stale. In truth, all emotions are equally valuable and vital. Do not fear your sadness, anger, vulnerability, or rage. Instead, fear the inert emptiness and physical disease that results from turning away from your feelings or refusing to acknowledge their presence or their depth. At times, it may seem that feeling your feelings could annihilate or overwhelm you. This is never true. It is simply your ego protecting itself. In reality, as long as you don't judge or resist your feelings, they will bring you clarity, connected to your inspiration, and crack open to the fullness of your joy. Now, it's interesting this shows up for clarification. I'm glad it did, because this felt like a very logical, almost straight to the point reading up until this point. So the reason you haven't really put as much effort into this thing, if it's because you fear rejection, you fear that you aren't going to be good enough, don't worry about being good enough. Don't worry at all. This is literally about not worrying. This is about just doing what feels right. Doing what feels right. And sometimes doing what feels right, just because it feels right, it may also bring up other emotions for you, such as the sadness and anger that was brought up in here. So, and frustration, but let that come up. Don't run away from it. Just almost embrace it in a way and learn how you can incorporate that into your learning process during this time. Other times, it may seem that your feelings are missing, hiding, or otherwise out of reach. I wanted to say, too, also during this time, you might feel like just significantly more happy than usual. So because of that, you might feel weird. And I was just thinking about this today, actually. For me, when I feel like extremely happy, I usually feel very sad at the same time. That could also just probably be chemical imbalances. But if you relate to that in any way, work through that and understand that maybe it is something that's just chemically imbalanced within you. Realize that if you feel sadness while feeling happiness, it shouldn't take away from the happiness. Just acknowledge that sadness that comes up and embrace the happiness. Lean into the happiness. Don't self-sabotage yourself, right? Okay, if you can't remember the last time you cried from the depths of your being or laughed so much that tears ran down your face, it's a sure sign that you need to do some soul searching and discover what your heart is yearning to communicate. Your emotions are the wellspring at the heart of your being. Whether defined by others as positive or negative, it is when emotions are flowing that you will experience joy. Remember, joy is not a symptom for happiness. Joy is flowing emotion. Grief or laughter, pain or pleasure, heartbreak or euphoria. It reminds me too of what was I just gonna say? Yeah, so during this time you might be so because focus was one of the words coming up, but don't just focus on like the logical, tangible things. Focus on the feelings that come up when you reach a new milestone in this learning process. Or if you get frustrated, just try to come up with, well, what can I do to help understand this information better? And why am I getting so frustrated with myself in this way? Okay, when you look closely at the nature of every emotion, you will find that its true identity is always love. When you rage at injustices, why do you rage? Because you feel love for those you believe have been mistreated. When you suffer a breakup, why does your heart ache? Because you remember love or yearn for love. When you cry at the loss of a friend or animal companion, why do you cry? Because you feel transcendent love that goes beyond this physical realm and embraces eternity. If you shrink from or deny the pain of love, you will also cut yourself off from the pleasures of love. When you practice opening your heart again and again, no matter what emotions wash through you, you will begin to find that all genuine feeling is pleasurable in the sense that it is a release, a freedom to flow with what is true for you in the moment. Yeah, it's really a lot about being present right now. The key is to let down your defenses and breathe into everything you feel. To get your feelings flowing, stand with your feet shoulder width apart and your knees slightly bent. Move a wave of undulating energy through your body in the following way. Begin by pulling your lower abdominal muscles towards your spine to tap into the storehouse of energy that resides near your pelvic floor and lower abs. Visualize drawing this energy up through the central channel of your spine. As it moves upwards, lift your chest and heart area toward the sky by drawing your shoulder blades together and down towards your lower back. Continue to direct the rise of energy upward by lifting your gaze and arms over your head. Allow yourself to sense and feel the awakening energy as it flows through your body from your pelvic region to your heart and then up and out over your head. Continue this undulating motion as you envision energy moving up your spine and out toward the heavens. There are great wisdom and power in your feelings. Connect with them, listen to them, treasure them. And I see you being a lot more like in tune with your emotions during this time and a lot more like appreciative of yourself and what you allow yourself the pleasure of being able to do, like the things you allow yourself to do in life. Okay, I will leave it at that. Thank you so much to be for watching and listening to this video. Hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video, you can subscribe, you can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can check out my other timeless pick a card reading videos as well as collective reading videos on this channel. And you can check out my ASMR channels in the video description down below where they are linked, as well as all my other socials. But thank you so much again to be, and take care. Bye-bye. Hello, 3C, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The coin here is, it says 50 pace. 50 pace. I don't know if this is like similar to pesos, but 50 pace. And it says India. On the back, it says India as well. It says 2007. So this is an Indian coin. And then we have for you, oh, you know, I just realized, I'm not surprised that this has India on it and it's tied to the 9th house. Because India and Nepal, that area near the Himalayan mountains, is a very spiritual place. But yeah, we have in the 9th house here, and it says spiritual values, long-range thinking or travel, what is to be shared, and as if it or they came from all there is, the philosophies and laws involved, and do it in a big way. So it feels like during this time, you'll go through a sort of spiritual transformation or spiritual awakening. I think there are answers you've been searching for a very long time. Oh. Okay, I'm not... Okay, hear me out. The phrase I'm hearing is rude awakening because I was thinking of Capricorn specifically. And Capricorn can be strict and kind of to the point, but it's interesting because Sagittarius and 9th house energy is opposite, but it seems like I'm hearing the song, This Is What You Came For, lightning strikes every time she moves, looking at you. So it feels like you've been searching for answers, or you've been like really trying to force something to happen, and so finally you'll get your answers. Or like okay, let me just say this. If you've been asking a lot of questions and you've been looking for the answers, you'll finally get your answers, but it might not be answers that you want. And maybe you've already been getting these answers, but you don't like it, so you're just like, work with the spirit, do something else. But Spirit's like, during this time, it'll really be that finality of, no, this is what it is. This is the information we are giving you. This is the truth of the matter, of the situation, so you have to learn to accept it for what it is. And just keep moving on. And so I think that will be a tough pill to swallow for a lot of you. Because I feel like it's interesting because you ask questions, but you have answers you want it to be. So it's like you have these expectations. So with this, I see you being humbled. Because Spirit's like, no, this is how it's going to be. Or like, we're not going to change the circumstances here. It doesn't have to be something you've done wrong. If it is something you've done wrong, then it's like, well, this relates to karma and like consequences of your actions. It could just discuss. It reminds me of people who think that if they manifest a very specific person that they want to date, that it will happen, right? In this kind of situation, this is a rude awakening of they've already told you they don't like you. They're not playing hard to get. They told you flat out they don't like you, but you kept trying to push it and you kept trying to like go after them, right? So it just seems like there's something you've been pushing for that you say that you're curious about, that you don't know the answers to, but you do. You're just not accepting of the answers. And so because of that, it's like Spirit's like, this is just a rude awakening for you. Something during this time will finally happen where it cements that, like, oh, well, I guess it won't change. I guess I can't manifest my way out of this. That's the thing about manifesting and, like, things changing. Things can change outside of our control. Sometimes we have the ability and power to manifest or to change things. Some things are not meant to be. Some things are meant for us. Some things are not. Some things... Also, I'm hearing, like... Sometimes we just need to learn lessons. So this could be a very important just lesson learning moment for you. And also, I think because this relates so much to spirit, I'm seeing spiritual growth and spiritual evolution. Just you can also think of this as evolving your spirit. But I'm hearing you shouldn't get such a big ego about that when I say that. When I say that, doesn't mean you should be like patting yourself on the back 100 times. Like, yep, I'm an amazing person. What this does mean is you can, because this is a time of really being humble, and it's of like accepting your fate almost, or accepting what is. And it's being like, okay, this is how it is. I pat myself on the back once or twice to be like, hey, I survived this. Like, I'll be going through this spiritual evolution where it's going to be hard to move on from this, but I believe in myself. I'll give myself pep talks, but I won't completely hide behind myself by lifting myself up on such a high pedestal is almost the way I'm being shown. And that's why the humbling needs to happen. So I see you on this pedestal because you feel like if you were to be lower, like closer to planet Earth, not so high up on a pedestal, you'd feel maybe like a failure. Or I feel like that hits the nail on the head for a lot of you. Or you'll feel like, I just think there are certain things in life you put so much of your happiness into. And so then when it doesn't work out, you're like, well, I can't be happy. And Spirit's like, you have to learn to be happy. That's part of the lessons here. Part of the lesson is that you need to learn to be happy. Even if things don't work out the way you'd like. Even though we can be upset. When you get upset, it's okay to be upset. You don't need to be like, I need to find the best thing to like make me happy right now. That's how addiction happens. Just bad like codependency, all that. So Spirit is saying to find happiness within you and also outside of you, but not in a way that you only rely on certain things for happiness and that you don't accept it from other places because you're like, I deserve more. You deserve happiness, but don't, I'm saying here, don't be stingy and don't be greedy. Sometimes we just need to accept where we are at right now. And sometimes we need to realize that we are able to be more happy, but we kind of prevent ourselves from being happier. Let's go into the tarot cards now. See what is to be said here. Yeah, the Five of Cups is all about grief and loss. So this is about don't be all overly optimistic and like toxic positivity. Don't engage in those behaviors. It's okay to be upset and to be sad. We can't be happy all the time. We can't be content with our circumstances all the time, even if it's something we did ask for. Let's say you like I said, you get what you asked for. But also it's like sometimes, I'm hearing the Rolling Stones song. You can't always get what you want. So maybe it's also so whether it is you don't get what you want, you get what you want, and it's not all it's cracked up to be. There's a grieving process that needs to happen during this time, and an acceptance. It's like, think of all the stages of grief is what I'm seeing. Like part of that is acceptance. You need to learn to get to that point, and because you might be in denial at first. That's like the first thing, right? It's like denial. I don't remember exactly what all the stages are. Are there 5 stages of grief? Isn't it 5 stages? Okay, but anyway, I feel like, true acceptance is like the final boss, the final phase. And so you won't be there at first. Don't rush the process too. I think you're the type of person you feel so uncomfortable sitting in uncomfortability, in sadness or grief. It's something that you try to just distract yourself from. But Spirit is saying don't distract yourself from these sad feelings and thoughts that come up. Grieving, sometimes you do need to do that, depending on where you're at in your grieving process. It's okay for distractions every once in a while, but then there also comes a point where we need to face these things. So Spirit is saying during this time, you need to face yourself. You need to face these expectations that you've had that aren't going as expected. And notice where you are being unrealistic and by how doing so for your life, it doesn't lend you to much progress or to much happiness because you're just focused on being optimistic about things that aren't working. So it's a time to grieve and move on in this way. I feel like the top card as well. Ace of Shards, and the Shards is Ace of Wands. So yeah, Spirit is saying there's a lot more exploring you need to do about yourself. You may think you have your life all figured out, but you don't. There's so much you have left to explore about yourself. And Spirit's like, now's the time to do. Ninth house is exploring energy as well. So it's like exploring your emotions, what you feel deep inside, but also exploring. Part of that is asking the question, who am I? And that's where the spiritual evolution comes through as well. It's like, who am I at my core? And am I being that person? There should be, hopefully, during this time, a lot of questions you ask yourself, like, do I like this? Or am I actually like this? Other people say I'm like this. Am I like this? I'm like this when I'm around this person, but not around this person. Is it me being fake? Is it me just trying to cater to this person's needs or wants or their personality? Enmeshment is showing up here as well. So notice where you kind of take on the personality or the vibe of other people, and where you notice that that's not actually you. Although we are multifaceted people, I've been saying that all throughout all the stacks today. We are multifaceted people, but sometimes we take on other people's energies, or we act in a way or present in a way that isn't actually true to ourselves. So Spirit is saying during this time, it's important to do that, to really ask yourself, who am I? Who am I outside of not being around these certain people? Who am I when I'm alone at the end of the day? Who am I when I'm not only focusing on trying to achieve this one thing? Who are you? It reminds me of people who are doctors. It's like, when you're a doctor, hopefully if you're a doctor, you don't just view yourself as a doctor. Whether you view yourself as a mom or dad, or you view yourself as like a kind person. Maybe you think you have a really cool sense of humor. Maybe you think you have a really, really weird sense of humor. Right? Maybe you think you love your fashion, or maybe you even like just how simple you dress. It could be something as simple as that. And even if other people are like, why do you like that you dress simply, right? But if that's how you are, then that's how you are. So there's also, I think, things that maybe you've pushed down from a young age that you don't accept certain parts of yourself, or you haven't expressed yourself in a certain way because of how you were judged when you were younger. I think that could relate in this instance for you all as well. So it reminds me, obviously, of people who are queer or trans. I'm not saying you are, but that's just, a very big example I could use here. It's like, who am I? And are there parts of me that I've suppressed that I need to no longer suppress? It reminds me of what I was saying too. It's like, you put so much energy into other things. I think that's and I was talking about like distractions. I think you use other things as a distraction from yourself, from truly understanding who you are, because you don't want to understand who you are, because that's not safe to do so. Because when you tried to figure out your life from a young age, people judged you, or people misinterpreted you. And so you internalize that. So you're like, I can't be that person. I can't be who I actually am, because who I actually am is somebody who gets bullied or judged. Or who I actually am, there are parts of it that maybe you're ashamed of. But it's like, should you be? I think there's a lot of parts of yourself maybe you shouldn't even be ashamed of. Maybe there's some things you're like, hey, I don't like certain things. And that's why I suppress it instead of working. I just suppress it and distract myself. But either way, if there's something that you don't like about yourself that you don't actually want to carry with you moving forward, that doesn't mean suppressing it. It means acknowledging it, working through it, and being like, why don't I like this, or why am I ashamed of it? And am I actually ashamed, or should I be ashamed if I am ashamed? And if I should or shouldn't be, why or why not? Let's pull one more card here. The Star in reverse. You can't always get what you want. So yeah, this is really just a time of being humbled, of Spirit saying, not everything that you envision is what it is cracked out to be, or it is not something that is meant for you. So if you feel like it actually isn't something that is meant for you, no matter how hard you try, then it's time to just let it go. And yeah, learning to be okay with things not... Spirit saying there's a lot left to learn. There's a lot left to explore. You'll still be able to gain. With loss comes gaining. With losing comes winning, right? You won't always... And I think you might think, oh, I'm a loser. I'm always losing at stuff. I'm never able to, like, obtain anything. And that's because you're focusing your energy on the wrong things. There's other things you can focus your energy on. And you'll be like, you know what? You're right, Spirit. This thing over here makes me feel like a winner. And I don't have to keep questioning or like forcing it. It's just more natural. You'll find things that are more natural to you and your personality, your hobbies, your interests, as opposed to what you're doing now. Pull a card. I'm just gonna shuffle. Final message for 3C, please. Honestly assess. Yeah, that's a perfect card for you all right now. Number 6. 6 is also a number of releasing. Okay, pages 29 to 30. Honestly assess. The situation calls for examination and review. Take a step back and honestly assess how far you've come, where you are now, and where you'd like to be. Bravely look within to discover what can be improved or refined. That's a good final sentence. I'm going to read it again. Bravely look within to discover what can be improved or refined. On a spiritual and emotional level, identify what pulls you out of loving presence. What inner pain, struggles, or limiting beliefs can you now recognize, release, and transmute into love? Pay special attention to emotions such as jealousy, judgment, guilt, or feeling closed off from your emotional flow. That's the thing too. I think you all can easily feel like jealous or envious of what other people have that you wish you had, but you don't. Something to work on. Okay, on the physical and tangible level, what is it that you most want to accomplish or experience, and how can you get there from where you are? Following through on living your dreams requires strategy and hard work. Once you put your passions into action, you must regularly check in with yourself and ask, where can I work harder? What skills can I develop? And what ways do I need to progress? When assessing your situation, be objectively honest with yourself. There's no need to dramatize or minimize it. No matter what obstacle or issue you discover, you are more than qualified to overcome it. Take on an adventurous attitude towards your challenges and surrender to being a lifelong work in progress. It may help to consult with someone you trust, such as a teacher, mentor, or friend, to receive a valuable outside perspective. If you have already received feedback from others, you may want to take an honest and compassionate approach and consider what they have said. Yes. Drawing this, asking for outside help could be helpful for you right now. Instead of just relying on yourself and being partial, right? Drawing this card is also a reminder to notice how far you've already come. Rather than focusing solely on the goal or outcome, be mindful of the journey. Otherwise, you may miss all the magic and fun. Prevent burnout and exhaustion by recharging your motivation. Pace yourself, fully inhabit the present moment, and happily acknowledge your milestones. To activate clarity and facilitate courageous personal assessment, stand comfortably or kneel, keeping your spine straight. Place your pinky fingers over your eyebrows. Plug your ears with your thumb tips. Splay the other 3 fingers on the crown of your head, equidistant from one another. Then close your eyes, inhale deeply, and hum like a bee. Continue this breathing practice for 1 to 3 minutes. This is a card of self-reflection, self-evaluation, and self-improvement. Once you lovingly notice what is asking to be acknowledged, yes, you will be well on your way. Humming, by the way, is really good. Singing as well is good for activating the vagus nerve, grounding us and regulating our emotions. But I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 3C, for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video, you can subscribe, you can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comments sometime in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can check out my other timeless pick a card reading videos on this channel, as well as collective readings. You can check out my ASMR channels and all of my other socials that will be linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, 3C, and take care. Bye-bye.